Hello and welcome to my Tryndamere full clear guide. Before we begin, I want to show you one little trick that a lot of you probably already know, but if you don't, it will come in very handy for Tryndamere in general, and especially for the clear. Tryndamere's E can be cast and the range depends on where you click. So you can cast it like this, and you can cast it like this. Obviously, in the jungle, we want to cast it as short as possible, so we don't move, alright? Like this. But then the thing is that you can also do auto into E and do it like this. And you see the DPS is much higher. Like this, you cancel your auto, and that is something that you want to get in the habit of. As well, like doing something like this is also fine, but the shorter the E, the better it is and faster it is. And you want to chain it with that auto. So auto into E. Also, the second thing about Tryndamere E is the fact that it deals damage slightly out of the indicator. So if we put it like this, it's gonna deal damage to the dummy. You see? So it starts slightly behind the champion. If you look at this, it will deal damage to both dummies. So keep that in mind. That will be very important for Raptors and for Krags as well. So I will show you how to utilize this. And that's it. Now we can jump into the clears. Let's start with blue buff. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like and comment down below which champions you want to see next. Also, this is a reminder that I do daily streams on Twitch, TikTok and YouTube. So make sure you follow them for more educational content. Pause the screen if you want to copy the runes, but we are running nothing too out of the ordinary. It's little tempo with alacrity, also attack speed, AD and scaling HP in our shards. Now, you want to auto-attack the blue buff, start with Q because it gives bonus damage based on missing HP, which is huge. Smite it and at about 300 HP start moving towards gromp, and you need either 2 or 3 auto-attacks depending on how many crits you get. Level up your E and use it immediately on the gromp and continue auto-attacking it while aligning it with the end of the range indicator. Now, obviously, you want to use your E off cooldown here. When gromp is at about 300 HP, move out of range and do 2 to 3 attacks again depending on the crits, then E through the wall and start auto-attacking wolves while kiting towards the mid lane. You want to use your second E in place as soon as it comes off cooldown, auto into E, and then just line up wolves with the end of the range indicator, and when the big wolf is 1 auto from dying, just auto move out of range, do 1 more auto on the small ones if they don't die to the jungle pet, E through the wall, and just continue auto attacking the raptors until they are very low and your E comes off cooldown, then E through them towards the red buff, let the jungle pet finish off the raptors and continue auto attacking the red while moving it towards the bush, use your E, and then try to move the red buff out of the bush, do 2 more auto attacks and then E through to finish it off. Continue auto attacking the Krags, and here we need 1 crit on the small Krag or 2 regular auto attacks. Then continue auto attacking the big Krag, and when they all die, just use your E to finish them off. Let's move on to blue start, but with a red buff as our last camp. So again, we're gonna start off by auto-attacking. Of course, we're using our Q, as I said already. Now, starting E is much slower. The 60 bonus damage on level 1 E doesn't compare to the amount of damage you get from the passive of Q. And of course, we don't want to use Q during the entire clear because it would give us HP, and the Q passive is giving us AD based on missing HP, so we don't want to be full HP while clearing as Tryndamere. This part is completely the same no matter what you decide to do on the red side, which completely makes sense, right? Now, you want to do 2 auto attacks on gromp and just E through the wall and continue auto-attacking the wolves. Wolves are a bit tricky for kiting because they basically fight each other for space, but that's fine. If the big wolf gets out of range, just move back into the range, do 1 auto, then move out and finish it off that way. Just like last time, we put another point in Q and E through the wall. Now, here you will see that I didn't catch the last raptor with my E, which is completely fine, and I will show you how to fix that. You're gonna have to do 1 more auto attack here, but that's fine, it can happen. Then use your E through the wall to get to the Krags, and here is the part that is a bit tricky. You don't want to move at all. You need 1 crit on the small one or 2 regular auto attacks, just like last time. And here, when the small baby Krags spawn, you want to eat through the wall and finish them off. Sometimes little baby Krag 1 will survive, but that's fine. We still get level 4 from it. It is what it is. It's better to do that and save time than to run all the way back or go all the way around. And here we're gonna finish at 244 just by auto-attacking, and we can use our E to either go to pot crab or top crab. Moving on to red start, again we're starting with Q, even if we're on this part of the map where E is very important because of the walls. But again, as I said, you can see that our AD is increasing by 1 every couple seconds. That is the reason why we're going Q. As I mentioned already, here we want to smite, do 2 more auto attacks, and then level up E and move through the wall. This sequence will be the same as we just had in the last clear, so continue auto attacking, 1 crit on the small one or 2 regular auto attacks. And then once the Krags are done, you want to E through the baby Krags and run towards Raptors. Now on Raptors, we want to auto-attack the small one, just so we pull the entire camp, and then start auto-attacking the big one, use our E to animation cancel the auto-attack. And here we're gonna have to do 1 auto on the small Raptors, 1 on the big, move out of range, and 1 more on the small one. And just walk towards the wolves, another point in Q, E through the wall, and continue auto-attacking the wolves. Move them towards the end of the range indicator, align it with the line perfectly, and our E will come off cooldown and immediately use it with the trick where it deals damage behind the target. Then continue auto-attacking the gromp, and don't worry about the small wolves if they don't die instantly to the jungle pet, because we used our E to get towards the gromp. We have enough time to attack the gromp, and the jungle pet will proc again on the small wolves. You want to move towards the blue buff and just auto-attack it down while using your E with the little trick that I showed you, cancelling our auto-attack, and we will finish this clear at about 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Now this clear has the most variability, about 2 or 3 seconds. Moving on to Raptor start, you want to auto-E as soon as Raptor spawn, and just continue auto-attacking while kiting towards the red buff's wall. And here we want to use our E again off cooldown with auto into E, and 2 more auto attacks on the big raptor, and move towards the Krags. If you don't crit a lot, the small raptors will be lower HP due to more jungle pet damage, and then you can just E through the raptors towards Krags. But if not, you want to smite and pull the Krags towards you, then auto into E. Now here we're gonna need 3 auto attacks or 2 crits on the small Krag to finish it off, because we used smite on the big one, and E through the baby Krags again, and then continue auto attacking the red buff using our E off cooldown with the animation cancel. Now this clear is only a couple seconds slower than the standard red buff start, which is not bad. If you don't have ganking opportunities or anything in lanes, you can always do this clear and try to get a fast level 6 and then contest a Drake or maybe grubs or invade the enemy jungler, because Tryndamere on level 6 can basically 1v1 anyone. Another point in Q and E through the wolves here. And now this part will be completely the same as on our red buff start. We want to line it up with the end of the indicator, auto into E as it comes off cooldown. Wolves die to the jungle pet, pull the gromp and auto attack it, use E in the place and just try to DPS it down as fast as possible. The more crits you get, the faster the clear is. And at 300 HP you can move out, and it's usually either 2 auto attacks or 3 if you don't get any crits, and continue auto-attacking the blue buff down. And that's pretty much it for this clear. Variability on this clear is 2 to 3 seconds maybe, and honestly this clear can probably be done in 2 minutes and 47 seconds, I'd say. But this is good enough as well. Now, Raptor's recall, we're gonna start the same way that we started our Raptor's clear. We will kite towards the wall, but a bit more to the right this time. And when the Raptors are at the end of the range indicator, just auto-attack them. And when there's 1 auto left, move slightly in them. Wait half a second for jungle pet to proc, and then E through the Raptors towards the red buff, just so we finish them off. Auto-attack the red buff and use smite on it. Hold your E once it comes off cooldown. Align red buff with the end of the range indicator, and here we want to auto into E to finish off the red buff and start auto attacking the Krags. And again, we need 1 crit or 2 regular auto attacks on the small Krag. continue auto-attacking, and once the baby crag spawn, use your E to finish them off, immediately channel your recall, and now we're going to buy a long sword and start running towards the wolves immediately. Now, this clear is a bit OP in this season because of the new home guards. You are really fast, and as you can see, we only lose half of our range, which is amazing. Max range is so it hits the big wolf and just auto attack it, align the wolves with the end of the range indicator, and here you will see the same pattern that we had in our last clear. It's completely the same. Auto into E towards the gromp, pull it and just continue auto-attacking it. Now, if you want to use second smite, I would suggest you use it now on the gromp and you want to auto into E, but E towards the blue buff. I think that is the fastest way to do it with double smite. But honestly, if you're doing this type of clear, you're not looking for a double smite. You usually want to save your second smite and fight Scuttle with smite plus longsword because you're really strong. This clear as well has about 1 to 2 seconds variability, but I think 248 is quite fast.